is. Okay, so hey guys, how's it going? Thank you for joining me and welcome to my channel. This is your reading for Chiron in Aries, and I'm reading this for you for the period of February 2019, sorry, until 2026. So let's take a look at your chart in a moment. I'm going to do an extended reading on Vimeo. That extended reading is on your February playlist as a part of your February bonus videos, and then also on your super duper bonus playlist for 2019. That includes the Lenormand reading as well as the Grand Tableau for 2019 and the Love reading for 2019. So you get quite a bit there, and I think there'll be more coming, but for now, three is it. But I think I'm going to do a mid-year in there as well. I think that's going to be my default folder for any kind of transit that is longer than a month. So if I do an extended reading for something that's longer than a month, I think in 2019, I think it's going to go there. So if you get the buy all option, or if you already got it, then it's kind of a good deal, I would say. What else can I tell you? I think that's it. Oh, I have some merch available down below, but you may be watching by the time you're watching. I could be gone, but I'm putting it up for Valentine's, so it's called Tie-Dye Valentine, and it's just fun. It doesn't really support me or the channel too well because we get such a small percentage of the profits. But if you want to support me or the channel, go into the Vimeo, go get the extended package, or go get your horoscope spread, because I have that available also for 2019. That's a lot of information. Sorry, guys. So your first message is the Ten of Cups. So Chiron is moving into your fourth house of family. So loyalty, right? Ten of Cups. And this is the question, like, what are you loyal to? Who are you loyal to? What are you willing to do for others? How do you feel how they treat you? And how do you feel if there is some type of kind of history to do with how they've treated you, or if you feel like you've been shortchanged in life in the realm of loyalty in your family. The Fool, I'll show you guys the transits in just a minute. A new beginning that is coming out of this. Maybe somebody is helping you in a new direction. Now, Chiron is where we feel weak, right? And Aries represents the idea of who you are. So this is deeply to do with an identity change, an identity change vis-a-vis your family, or your family's intrinsically connected to that. Seven of Cups. Okay, so it's kind of like an identity change. You don't really know who you're becoming quite yet, and I feel like the Chiron in Aries will be a little bit of an existential crisis. It's funny that I picked these cards. These are the Karma Tarot, but I don't know if you know the play by Samuel Beckett called Waiting for Godot. It's this kind of like sitting alone, or not alone, but kind of aimlessly sitting there and waiting for something to happen. And these cards are very kind of postmodern kind of renditions of like existentialism. Like existentialism means like, who am I and what does it all mean? So you're it's kind of in line with Chiron transit in Aries. You're the last sign I'm reading for, and I just noticed that nuance. I didn't do it on purpose, but it's a good fit. So you have this kind of new direction that you're taking, and there's family stuff that may be the precursor of all this, or maybe you're finally coming to terms with the family stuff. Depending on how old you are, only if you're over 50 will you have seen a full cycle of Chiron, because it takes Chiron 50 years to go around in the chart. So only if you're 50 years old, you're having your Chiron return right now. So hey girl, hey, now this is intense, to do with family. For the rest of us, we're just along the journey a certain percentage way through, and I feel like maybe this Chiron in Aries, most of us have never seen it before. Most of us have never seen it at all as adults, because even the people who were born in the 60s, they were children last time it was here. So we're talking about people in the 50s, but barely, they would have been teenagers. So the majority of us are really getting this for the first time. And what it has to do with is this kind of identity crisis. And this identity crisis has to do with your home and your family. So for many of you, this is deeply rooted. This is one of those transits in Chiron that's like, whoa. And you may get smacked in the face, figuratively, by awareness and being really made aware of some things that you thought were really solid may not be as solid as you had thought them to be, right? And maybe because the environment is a little bit safer than it was maybe 50 years ago, if you were then around then or not, maybe the environment's a little bit more secure, and it's time to take a look at how your identity is shaped by your family and how you've been limited. I'm getting downloads for you, and I think that download is like, it really has to do with like how your family has in some way, how your family structure has been limited or is limiting in some way towards your true identity, you know, and how you are an extension of your family, and how that relates to the intricacy of how you relate to your family, and where the true authentic vision is. So this is like a big transit. Now, heads up, it is a tough one. I would say Chiron in any sign is tough, but that's how it manifests for you. When Chiron moves into about the midpoints of Aries, or starts moving into the second decan, like 10 degrees, it's going to start forming a T-square with the nodes, and this is going to happen in early 2020. If you're watching this in 2020, please make sure to leave a like and a comment. But it's going to be a direct T-square to the nodes, which is going to make you feel as though those things that were inauthentic in relation to your family identity, your identity within your family, or the identity of your family, those things, depending on how much they've been addressed, there's going to be a lot of guilt that is being thrown at you in terms of, or you're going to feel that guilt in terms of how that's impeded your personal progress towards forming partnerships. That's big, you know. And so I feel like the main thing is to have forgiveness for yourself, but as a heads up, in 2019, my suggestion is to get ready for it. You have a year to really prepare yourself and make peace with whatever's happened, or however you've been kind of stunted. Even in good families, this happens. So revisit that and take a look at it, and take a look at what's making you kind of trip out a little bit and be worried that you don't really know the reality of it all. You know, you don't really know what loyalty is on some levels. And that doesn't mean that you're not loyal. It means that you're looking at loyalty at such a deep and profound and significant level that you're mastering it. And a person who's mastering it, it's a higher level of awareness. It's a higher level of cognition. We have the King of Cups here, a Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. This is fire and water energy. So this could be to do with a man who has passed away in your family, like a grandfather or your father if he's passed. It doesn't mean that somebody is going to pass, but it does mean that there's this kind of consciousness, patriarchal significance that you're really renegotiating. For some of you, this is stepping away from the patriarchy of your family. So maybe you're taking a look at your family and saying, wow, this is really for the men only. There's not much here for women. And many of my viewers are women, so I'm only mentioning it that way. But I'm just as much a support of men's rights as I am of women's rights. So this isn't some feminist statement. I really want to stress that. But I do feel like there'll be a lot of like prickly times of awareness that you need to go a different direction. But I think the question is, what is that direction? Where and how and with whom? Six of Wands is very good. Now I'm excited to see this. So I think early on in this transit, you're going to have some kinds of awareness that are going to come through, that are going to be like light bulbs that you need to change of pace. And the Six of Wands represents that you are going to find a path to go down, a path to explore. And I feel like that path will be empowering, and I think that that path will be strong and significant for you. And I feel like you will branch out, and even though at first you may not know exactly what, who, what, where, and why, I think you'll find a way. And then we have the Queen of Cups, water and water. And so this is a Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio, or this is you, crafting your own emotional reality. These cards are painted by artists and dancers. That's why some of the pictures are very abstract and unique. So just be patient with it. It's considered a very artistic deck, so it may not be for everyone, but that's why I don't use it too often. One of the reasons. So, So we have this Queen of Cups here energy in which you are in some way called upon to maybe rethink how you emotionally feel about people, and also take the ownership over how you feel about other people in your family, and start kind of taking the power back in your feelings about things. So you become sort of like a matriarch yourself, or you yourself in some way try to set a precedent. It's like, no, let's not do it this way anymore. Let's do it this way. These are better ways of approaching family life and our relationships with each other, and how we present ourselves to the world. So it's an empowering transit. Some of it may be confusing. The confusion, in summary, will have a lot to do with aimlessness, not being really sure which way to go, how to get there, or how to approach that direction. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will talk with you soon. Just as a heads up, this reading will be available on your February 2019 playlist on Vimeo. It's linked down below, or on the super duper bonus playlist. It's the same video on both playlists. And that will include the Lenormand reading and the love reading if you get the buy all option, and probably more readings later on in the year. Okay, thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope you have a nice day. Take care. Bye-bye.